What do you know about the separation of church and state? I'm Tim Greenwood, and this is Windows on the Word. The term separation of church and state is nothing but an outrageous myth when it comes to the First Amendment of a Christian's constitutional rights. The godless, liberal, leftist, socialist mantra of separation of church and state has been chosen as their billy club of choice. They use it to beat Christians back into their little box every time they dare climb out and involve themselves in government, politics, education, or these days to even use the name of Jesus anywhere except for inside of that little box. This, combined with Christian gutless, non-confrontive passivity and their collective apathy, has allowed the secular world to dictate what the role of Christians will or won't be here in the United States. The secular world has dictated that the issues of homosexuality, immorality, marriage, child rearing, the organized infanticide of unwanted and inconvenient babies, or even prayer, if exercised outside of our little box, are completely secular issues that Christians have to keep their nose out of. In essence, the secular world is in the process of redefining who and what the church is as used in separation of church and state. My 14th great uncle, Reverend John Greenwood, he lived from 1556 to 1593. And he not only coined the very phrase separation of church and state, but he was hung from the neck as a martyr for writing and publishing booklets that advocated that there is no head of the church, no queen, no king, no pope, anybody other than Jesus, which is the original meaning behind separation of church and state. Romans 12:2 tells us flat out that we as Christians are not to conform to this secular world. Christians must stop restricting themselves to taking only defensive positions. Defense is not a sustainable position, but only a temporary position to reorganize and go back on the offense. Defending the faith is all good and fine, but no war in all of history was ever won by an army in a defensive position. The very best that anybody in a defensive position can ever expect to achieve is an even draw. Look, Christians have to wake up and climb out of their little boxes and be proactive and aggressive, especially concerning the protection of our own religious freedom of expression, for our own individual and collective freedom of speech, as well as the rest of our God-given freedoms. In the parable of the wheat and tares, Jesus never faulted the enemy for sowing the tares, but rather faulted the good men for falling asleep when they should have been awake and watching. The systematic secularization of America and the corruption and erosion of our constitutional freedoms are the result of good Christians falling asleep. The renewal of the mind is not a one-time event. It must be an ongoing process and a continual reminder. Now listen to me carefully. Prayer is no substitute for Christian confrontation, activism, and education. Proverbs 23:7 says that in whatsoever a man thinks in his heart, that's what he is or will eventually become. If you, as a Bible-believing Christian, think that you are a minority under fire, then that's how you and everybody around you will act like you are a minority under fire. But then on the other hand, if you think, believe, and have faith that we have the answers, that we have the solutions, that we're on the winning side, that we're the majority, then we, individually and collectively, will go on the offensive, and we will talk like it, we'll walk like it, and we'll act like it. Hey, thanks for joining us for this video. We can stay connected if you subscribe. You can be notified when the next Windows on the Word video is released. So just click on the subscribe link, click on the like button, and click on the notify bell here on the screen. And please, share this video with others.